Have you ever struggled with what to include in your CV? So today we're going to tackle the key checklist that recruiters look into. So let's go straight to it. So the first one, this is usually in terms of the contact information. So in terms of contact details, you have to include relevant information. Don't include irrelevant information like your age, your weight, your height, because you'll only include such details if they've advised a person to do so in the advert. But if such details have not been incorporated, don't include, because normally what they want to see in the contact information are your telephone numbers, email address, postal address. Postal address is necessary, especially when they indicate the person we are looking for must reside in the following locations. So postal address also will be there. Email address, also prudent to include it. Including a link of your LinkedIn also is always relevant, because sometimes they'll also indicate in an advert, include a link of your profile into your CV. So only include relevant information. When it comes to the telephone numbers also, I've noticed a scenario whereby a lot of candidates end up including their relatives' contacts instead of theirs. Because if I'm a recruiter and the first digits I see are, and when I call, it's your relative, that already creates an impression of, okay, how comes this person didn't put their digits as the first one? Because that already, they'll not have that zeal to even go through the other digits. So always start with yours, so that in case of any other emergencies, the other contacts are also there. So including relevant information is always essential, because it also creates an impression of you. Yeah, so that's number one. Number two, we have the career profile. So a lot of people tend to confuse it with an objective, because you find a lot of people structuring CVs and then the topmost part in the intro, they indicate a career objective. That is the complete wrong approach, because when you're talking of an objective only talks about what you intend to do. So you can't talk of what you intend to do if they've not yet hired you, because that is the only time an objective will apply. So here we talk of a career profile that will be talking about who you are as a professional, what sets you apart from other applicants, and of course, whatever you're putting down in this profile has to also be in line with that advert, so that when they're reading through, they already know what to expect in the other sections of the CV. But if that's not incorporated, they'll not go further with the other sections of the CV. So having a clearly well done career profile also goes a long way with the recruiter. A career profile and not a career objective. Point number three, we usually have the work experience section. So in the work experience section, you need to include relevant roles in line with what you've done. But again, these roles need to showcase your result-orientedness to perform a task. So that when I'm a recruiter and I'm reading through, I already know, okay, so these are the roles this person has done. And so I already know what to expect if I were to even hire this person today. So, and then again, these roles also have to be connected with what they're looking for in that advert. So take note, each and every detail in these components of the CV, everything has to be relevant in what that advert is looking for. And also, people also should dissuade from incorporating information such as, let's say you're a finance manager. Then in duty number one, you see someone has indicated budget management, full stop. Financial reporting, full stop. That is the wrong approach. Because the goal here is to convince this recruiter that you're good at what you do to the extent of them calling you for an interview. So if it's in budget management, we give relevant scenarios based on what you've done. If you oversaw staff, they have to also see, you don't just say staff management. They want to see, yes, you led teams, but as a result of your leadership, was there an improvement in the department's performance? They look at it from that perspective. So you don't just give statements, you have to give further scenarios. But again, with the explanations, they have to be correlated with what they're looking for in that advert. Point number four, we have the skills section. So the skills section here, it's not just a matter of randomly including skills out of the blue. No. Skills have to also be connected with what they're looking for in the advert. If they're looking for administrative skills, that also has to be featured into your CV, and not just a matter of stating. Because the moment you state, you've not convinced, because a lot of people use this approach, but here they want to see what makes you different from these other people who've also done admin. So we give relevant scenarios, but in line with what the advert is looking for. Because I see a lot of people indicating, oh, as a skill, I am someone who is self-motivated. You see people even including information that's out of topic. Maybe they talk about their hardworking, but then everyone is a hard worker. Remember when everyone was sending these applications, They know this is what they do. They are hardworking. Everyone is hardworking. But then, what have you really done that will make me be like, okay, these skills have actually stood out for me. Let me call this person for an interview. So how the skills are designed and structured will also go a long way with that recruiter. The next point is on voluntary experience. So a lot of people tend to overlook this section, but then it also goes a long way. So you might not have the experience that they're looking for, but then as they're going through your CV, they see you actually did voluntary service, and the roles that you did in that voluntary work are related to that advert. You will have already created an impression. So voluntary experience relevant to the advert also has to be incorporated. And I'm not talking about voluntary experiences that are completely off topic. No, they have to be relevant with that advert. So if you've done any voluntary work that you know will be a good fit for the role you're targeting, incorporate it. So the last point is on achievements. It's usually crucial to include achievements in a CV, because that also gives you an added advantage also against the others. Because they'd want to see, yes, so and so has undertaken all these duties and responsibilities, but as a result of him undertaking these roles, what did he accomplish? Was he awarded as the best employee of the year? Was this someone who would hit targets when it comes to sales? Maybe they hit a target of 1 million, of 1 billion. They have to be incorporated and they have to be quantifiable. Even if it's also in terms of percentages, that information has to be included, because they have to know this person we're bringing on board, this is someone who will be result oriented. That already gives them a picture of the kind of person you are profession-wise. So never send a CV without any milestones. Not unless maybe you're a fresh graduate. Of course, that one is expected because you're now getting into internships or even attachments. But if you're someone who is experienced, milestones also have to be included. Because imagine maybe you've worked for over 10 years and then they're looking through your CV and then they're like, there are no milestones. So they'll be like, this person worked in company X for all these years, but they never even achieved anything. That will begin to raise eyebrows, because they'll be like, okay, chances are if we bring this person here, they'll also be stagnant. Nothing will be seen. So having achievements is also very essential. So at corporate staffing, we usually write CVs on behalf of candidates. We give expert advice. We usually, if someone also wants the CVs to be worked on, we usually do it at a charge. Of course, the fee is usually affordable. Of course, there are also bonus packages. So if you would want us to review your CVs, the review is for free. If you'd want us to write it, of course, you get it at an affordable fee. So contact us today and increase your chances of landing that interview.